Happy Friday, y'all. Not that it matters to me, but back in the garden again this morning. Going to attempt to work on this, I guess we'll call it arbor. The plan keeps changing in my mind, like everything always does. I've got plans to put at least 4 more posts going in and creating this walkway. And this is actually 4-foot wide gate, so there's 4-foot gap in there. So I'll keep that gap going in. I'll have a section in here that's got 8-foot tall trellis off of it, and then the rest of it will be 4 foot. And I've got plans for some different gourds and beans and stuff like that to grow up on this fence, and that'll be kind of the entranceway going into the garden, and then I'll split my rows off of it either side. I think that's my plan anyway. It's liable to change midway through. You just never can tell with me. But as for now, I'm going to take a walk and see what kind of post I can find that may be on the ground without having to cut any trees down. And if I have to, I'll cut some trees down, and then we'll figure out how we're going to connect these on the top. And if I'm going to connect them on the top, you just never know. Overcast, low to mid 60s this morning. Rain's coming in sometime early mid-afternoon. So we'll just have to see what we can get done before that gets here. Let's get started. Now I told y'all I had a couple of Volkswagen hood size rocks, and I misspoke because this one's more like a Volkswagen and not just the hood. But I've just about found the edges of it. Oh. Let's almost 4 foot by 5 foot rock. Appears to be about 6 or 8 inches thick. That's just a rough guess at the moment. I'm gonna try to finish digging all the edges out on it. And if I can get a big enough bar and a fulcrum push on there, I might be able to cantilever this bugger on out of here. But if not, we're just gonna garden around it. And that's just one of them. I've got another one right over here, a couple of them actually. I can't see the camera, but you can kind of see the outline of this one. Right in there, give or take. And then there's actually a high spot right here beside it also, and I don't know if that's rock or not. But that one sure is. And that's my 2 main rocks. I've got another one right over there also, but I don't think it's as big. Yeah, this one's quite a bit smaller. Shouldn't have much trouble getting it out. Looks like I've already got one piece of it out. That one won't be too bad. That's my current situation. I think I'm going to need a bigger sledgehammer. Good morning from River Mountain Homestead. We got a little bit accomplished yesterday. That big rock is still there, just rearing its ugly head, and maybe I'll get to it today. If not, it'll be all right. It is what it is. We just been out here enjoying our tea this morning and discussing our hopes and dreams for this place one day, and well, it's a never-ending process, and things always change.
Daily. I come home and things change.
But today we're going to jump back in on this garden, and we're going to put Mama to work.
He says I'm carrying rocks, but I don't think so.
But we're going to get the fence stretched on these posts. I got the concrete set for that yesterday, so I checked those this morning and we're sturdied up enough. The outside perimeter fence should go up today, hopefully, and we'll see how that's going to work out. What are you going to do today? Pick up rocks?
No, I'm not picking up rocks. I hate picking up rocks. I hate it. For the last 20 years, we've lived in rocky places, and I've had to pick up rocks, and I'm over it. I don't want to pick up rocks, but I'll do what I have to, I guess.
I think she's picking up rocks. I think she needs to start on the one that I left off on.
Okay, sure. I want to build something. That's what I want to do.
We're going to build fence.
Why does he always save the hard stuff when I'm here, and he gets to do the fun stuff while I'm gone?
Now, that's what she says,
That doesn't seem fair.
I'm pretty sure I was the one with that rock bar yesterday digging those holes, not her.
Well, it is what it is.
All right, guys, we'll continue on here. And Charlie Mike, for those who don't know what Charlie Mike means, it is to carry on with mission. So let's Charlie Mike.
As you can see, we've gotten started on the fence. We have started down here at the, how tall did you say this is? 5 foot? 4 foot? And it ended up being a little bit taller, but that's okay. No, nobody's gonna know, except for you now. But he used these 1.5 inch fencing staples and just attached the fence in multiple places going down. And then what was left sticking out, he just bent over the wire and then hammered it into the post so that there won't be anything sticking out. It won't have, won't catch your clothes or an animal or anything like that. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna continue on with the fencing, as you can see down that way. and we will pull it with the truck, and he'll show you how he's going to do that here in just a minute. But that's going to be our first 4-foot section, and then
We don't own a fence stretcher, we own a hitch.
yeah, so we're gonna do this
The redneck way.
the redneck way. Is that what we're gonna call it? Okay. So yeah, we don't have any fancy tools or anything to do this, but we've done it multiple times and it gets the job done. So that's all that matters, right? So all right, it is what it is.
So according to Mama, I need to cut this fence a little bit short.
Listen, I wasn't thinking.
I'm cutting this a little bit long, and then the next section, this chunk here, will go up on the top side and make this 8 foot tall. And then what I'm gonna do is take a pair of 2x4 8s and sandwich in between all the way up. And then I've got to find a strap that I'll strap in on the top and the bottom of that 2x and hook to the truck so that I can pull them both equally in pressure to tighten this up enough. Not that it needs to be that tight anyway, it's just a little garden trellis, but try to give it a little bit better look than just to be so
Floppy.
floppy.
And we've not quite figured out how we're gonna attach to this cool post here.
This is Mama's doings, and you can see all these limbs right here.
Well, I think they look cool.
Well,
But-
there needs to be a section of fence right here.
So yeah, we've got to figure out how that's gonna happen.
That's probably gonna happen with me sitting there with a chainsaw cutting them limbs off in a minute.
Nah, we'll figure it out. We're crafty like that. But yeah, so stay tuned to see how that happens. As you've seen right there, we had just a little bit of wire left off of that roll. So he went ahead and we made 2 more cages to put around the fruit trees that we just planted, or he planted, not me. And so that way we didn't waste that wire. And we got those carried down there and put those in place. So we'll get back at this right now. Okay, after looking at this, it appears that he has won. He's headed for the chainsaw now. I think we're just going to take a little bit off of each of the taller branches that come out and just kind of shorten them a little bit so it'll be easier to fit the wire onto. So hopefully we won't lose the whole look of it, because I really like that part, but unfortunately we're going to have to trim them down just a bit in order to get the wire on there. So sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. So we're gonna try that now and see if we can get that to work.
No chance of rain today. It's supposed to be over at 5 a.m. Here it is, 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's raining. She's cutting whole corners out. Did y'all notice what happened there? We had to trim, like I said.
Yeah, I've already talked about it.
I just want to rub it in again that I'm right.
Yes, and I even said you were right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
I said you won.
I always win. Who's always right?
Oh.
I guess I'll put my hoodie back on here to keep myself from getting soaked.
I think we should cut these 4 out right here, and that'll just give it room to pull.
I don't know. I'll have to see.
All right, he's got this tied off in the center and then at the top and the bottom. And
straight up redneck ingenuity right there.
and then hooked up to the bumper. And this would be why we can't get anything done.
She asked nicely.
These two, I tell you. And just like that, folks, we lost another limb. It's slowly getting whittled down to just a post. But that's going to allow us to pull it a little bit tighter, so it is what it is. Do what?
Without pulling the post over.
Yeah, without pulling the post over. He put this, I don't know if you noticed in the...
Brace.
He just put a brace in it to help keep that, to straighten that back up while we pull this. So we'll see if we can get this tightened up. Alright, so we got this piece up top, if you guys can see, there we go, right there that Kevin's working with. I think we're going to put that across the top right there for our entranceway. Alright, he was thinking more of an arch. So we would have to find a tree, which we actually do have several trees that are kind of bent over, but...
We'll find one, but that one's just not it.
Well, that was rude. And just like that, guys, I got my limbs back.
It may have took a couple of screws.
He put a couple screws in it and stuck them back up there. I don't know how long they'll stay, but hey, it looks good. We think we have found the arch
Arbor top front.
for the top front of the gate. So we are gonna measure it. Good catch. And see how long it needs to be and see if this one's going to work for us. Good job. A gust of wind come through. I'd help, but I'm too short.
This fence fence is so thick that you can see it, but believe it or not, Angela has it right in front of her. It's kind of like a fish net. But we're gonna string some of this up and see what the chickens think.
Dug up the big rock that was under that pile of leaves, and we just decided that it was way more work than we wanted to do, and so we filled it back in. We put leaves over. We're gonna do a little rock raised bed to just kind of put rocks around for a border and put in some more soil, and from there we're thinking strawberries, toothache plant, and possibly carrots if we can get it deep enough. So that's just kind of what happened there that you just seen. So just wanted to fill you guys in. I found Karen. Sorry.
What a productive day. It stayed overcast most of the day, which was fantastic. The sun is now sneaking out as the thunderstorms are supposed to be rolling in on us tomorrow and this evening. And we are definitely ready for a day of rest. I promise you that.
Oh yes.
It has been a week. But we got part of that arbor done. We got started on it anyway. Got the fence stretched out on it. Got to try out the tiller a little bit and got this area busted up over here just to sample and see how she was going to run. That area right there looks good, but that's the best area in the garden. The rest of it's going to be a nightmare, and we've got a lot of rock digging, or I've got a lot of rock digging to do. And I apologize for that wind. It's probably rough on you guys. We tried to turn away from it, but
Feels good. Might not sound good, but it feels good. Oh, well, like you said, we got quite a bit accomplished today. I feel like we're definitely moving forward. I'm excited that I got to be a part of it today. I don't hardly get to do much around here, but it was nice to be able to join in, and I did end up moving some rocks. I put them around the bottom of the fencing that you cannot see that we did install.
Invisifence.
It's pretty invisible. We're just hoping neither one of us run into it. So yeah, so we'll finish putting rocks around the bottom of it, so that'll kind of help establish a, maybe help us see it. That's my thought.
Chicken boundary.
Yeah, so it's gonna also hold it down. And then up front, Kevin has several of the flower bulbs that we bought a couple weeks back, and we're just going to kind of plant a flower bed along that edge. So I think that'll clean it up and make it look nice. And yeah, it's been a day, I tell you, but it's been a productive day, so that's a good one.
Having the free source with all the rocks around here, we'll get those around the base. They'll probably end up creating a little bit of a flower bed out front, getting it mulched, getting everything in here mulched. I've got all these leaves from all the hardwoods off the back side of the hill here, and I've got that super vac on the snapper, so I can mulch those leaves, and then we can utilize a lot of those in here, and that'll help for future soil amendment adding to this in here. We got this big rock back here. This is going to be our first somewhat raised bed in here. We'll buy a little bit of soil to put on top of it, like we talked about earlier. And if the rest of this would just break up like that first little section, I'd have it made.
I don't think that's going to happen, but we can keep our fingers crossed. But yeah, so it's been a day.
It's Saturday, and I think we're just going to, instead of cooking what we had planned, sneak off for a little quick date night, you know, because we like to eat dinner about 4 o'clock. If we can. It's usually after 7, but we'll take advantage of it today while we can.
And then rest tomorrow. So we will see you guys back, or he'll see you guys back Monday.
Maybe. Let's see what the weatherman's doing.
Yeah, see what the weather's doing.
We'll catch you guys on the next one. Just wait till you figure out which one of those I choose for a screenshot at the end.